I'm Sidhu, and on today's episode of SCLERO What, we're joined here by Julia Puricelli. Did I say that finally right?
Yes, sir.
Because we've been practicing this for almost 2 days now.
Yes.
Puricelli. But Julia, welcome to the show. I mean, you're a wife, a mother, and a scleroderma patient as well.
Yes.
And you've had, scleroderma for approximately how long now?
7 years.
7 years. Mm-hmm. And something I didn't know about you until I finally got to meet you, you're an extremely active individual.
Definitely.
So what kind of stuff have you been into? Because I know you're a pretty avid runner.
Yes. I run. I just did a 15K like 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
I did a half marathon 3 weeks ago. I do triathlon, so that's my next thing I'm training for.
So that's quite an accomplishment. I mean, have you always been this active your whole life, or?
Yeah, I've been pretty active. I mean, like growing up, kids just run around and play sports.
Scleroderma, everyone has a different level of how it affects individuals.
Yes.
I think at one point in time, most patients were pretty active people, and
Yeah.
then you've kind of got to take a step back and scale back a little bit, or find out different ways to, if you are in a fitness routine,
Mm-hmm.
how to approach it. Like, what did you do? What are you doing now that's different than you were doing before?
Before, I pretty much worked out on my own. I belonged to a gym, and I had a trainer that was there, but I would ask him questions and help, and I'd see him here and there, but if I had questions. But I pretty much worked out on my own. But when I was finally, after several months, and they finally got the right treatment, and my doctors gave me the okay to start back being active, they advised me to start slow. And I thought, since I lost all that muscle, I've never worked out from ground zero, from nothing. So I went to the trainer, and he is also a physical therapist, and I've watched him with his other clients. So I knew he would learn about my disease and learn about me and cater my workouts to my needs. And, my goal of trying to get back, or as close to myself as I was before I was sick.
So did you find that having, a personal trainer or running coach kind of a little bit of a spark underneath you to kind of get back into trying to involve more fitness into dealing with your scleroderma syndromes?
I think, it definitely helped a lot. It helped in, so I always want to do more, run harder, run faster, lift more, and I think a lot of people actually do that
now, right?
Right, so I have limitations.
Yeah.
So the trainer, and I have a running coach also, they're there to keep me in check, to make sure I don't push too hard, make sure I don't lift too hard. My, original working out when I first started was walking, which seems so mundane. However, though, it helped a lot, and I was so excited to just be able to, walk on the treadmill for a couple minutes. I also have myositis, which is muscle disease. So, and I see physicians at Johns Hopkins for scleroderma and myositis, and they both wanted to get me back to me.
Did you find that the physicality of getting back into the gym and doing some exercise is actually helping?
Absolutely. Exercise does give you endorphins, and it's not necessarily just to perform better, but it mentally makes you feel better. Even if you don't necessarily get to the activity level that you wish you could be, you're still better because you got up and did something.
So, a lot of scleroderma patients out there too, like I said, there's various degrees of impairment.
Absolutely.
What do you recommend to somebody out there who can't be the superstar runner doing the Spartan race? Because, that's pretty impressive on your own, but there's other people out there that they don't have it, and you'll find that they'll just kind of sit back and go, well, I can't do anything anymore, and I'm just going to sit around. You find that this, finding a trainer or somebody to help them out getting to the gym, or a simple act of walking and whatnot, do you think that could alleviate a lot of the depression symptoms that some people have?
I do. I think it doesn't even necessarily have to be physical fitness. Even if you aren't physically able or capable of moving, find something else. There has to be another outlet. Read a book, or sing. And it's actually funny because a lot of patients with scleroderma have decreased lung capacity.
Yeah.
And so I'm a horrible singer. I'm awful at singing.
Prove it. No, I'm kidding.
Actually, singing from your diaphragm, that actually helps your lungs.
I
And
had
you enjoy
no
it.
idea.
Absolutely,
this
it
could be
helps
the turning
heal.
point that I'm
It
looking
helps
for.
heal your lungs, even if
Wow.
you're not a great singer. But it truly does. So, but it's a stress release also. So maybe you can't get up and walk, or maybe you can't swim. Maybe you're a lousy singer, but you can sing. You know.
So every little bit helps.
Absolutely, every little bit helps.
And it ties in that mental and physical side of it to, release that positivity in you.
Right, and I think, some patients do have some handicaps, but it doesn't mean they can't be active. Maybe they can't be the same active they were before. I would say go to a trainer, but as there's different levels of trainers. Mine is a physical therapist as well,
Yeah.
and he researches all of his clients' medical needs and attention. So he's up to date. When I go to the doctors, I tell him, she said this, this, this. She said, I can do this. I can't do that. So he keeps me in check. He keeps up to date. But so I would recommend for somebody who is just starting out to find somebody like that who isn't just there to make money, who also wants to educate themselves on their clients, because then it is worth it.
Yeah. So Julia, you mentioned that your physical trainer is a physical therapist as well. Like
Yes.
That's pretty impressive. And I mean, do you find that helps to find out that, during your training process that you're not going to completely injure yourself, or that they have knowledge of what you're going through?
Both. That's exactly why I have him, to make sure I don't get injured, that I don't push too hard and get injured. I think it is harder for people with autoimmune diseases to heal, for one. But yes, and as a client or as a patient, you have to tell your trainer, your physical therapist, what you have. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what I have. He doesn't know what my limitations are unless I tell him.
But he took the time to research it.
Correct? Yes, so that's important. And then even me, because I've always been active, I asked my doctors every opportunity, every visit, can I work out? Can I do this? What am I allowed to do? And they would tell me what I was allowed to do. They would tell me what my limit was. So I would tell my trainer. But even if I didn't go to a trainer, I knew in my head what my limit was. Like, I belong to a local support group for Scleroderma, and there's a woman, she takes like senior yoga. So it's movement. It's easier movement.
Yeah.
There's a gentleman I interact with in California, and he has a Scleroderma patient. He is, in fact, a personal trainer, but he just ran a marathon, which
Wow.
I've never wanted to run a marathon, but he has me thinking, well, maybe I actually
So
could.
he's kind of inspired you a little bit.
He is. He's my hero.
Awesome. So the regular exercise regime, a lot of
Yes.
your symptoms that are there, do you find that it tends to alleviate a lot of, or at least some of the symptoms that you're experiencing from scleroderma? Like, is it more of a positive, or do you find that it aggravates them at times?
No, I think it absolutely helps. No, I mean, there's days, if I'm not feeling great or I'm not feeling up to it, I take the day off or I do less. There's no reason to work out 7 days a week or 5 days a week. Maybe it's only one day that you can do it. So it depends how you feel. One of the things is important is actually to focus on your breathing, and that helps your lung capacity, and that helps with, people who have limited lung capacity. But if you're more focused on your breathing, it actually helps. It helps with your heart, and a lot of people have issues because, it attacks the internal organs.
You got to keep the flow going.
Yeah, the blood flow, and it absolutely helps with the Raynaud's, because the blood's flowing to your fingers, it flows everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Do you find that even just, basic stretching, or even light yoga, because the tissues tend to tighten up.
but yes, I do, I would say it definitely benefits.
So it relaxes
The
most of your
symptoms.
symptoms that you have then.
Well, your mind can't make your body do everything. Sometimes you don't know what you're capable of until you try it.
And I'm going to touch on something right here. Let's talk about Julia's words of wisdom.
So I'm a Philly girl.
You don't say.
Yeah. But I'm also a huge Rocky fan, which is, you know, you have to be if you're from Philly. But and even though he's a fictional character, the quotes are very deep. One is about, you know, nothing hits as hard as life, and once you're hit, you just got to get up and keep going, hit back. So that's what I do with scleroderma. I'm fighting back. You just keep fighting.
Just dust yourself off and get back at it.
That's just it. And the other quote, I just want to go the distance. So I think of that, you know, when I sign up for a race, I just want to see if I can do it. I'm not looking to, you know, come in first place or last place. Even just trying is better than not.
Julie, it was an absolute pleasure to meet you. I'll eventually try to race you up the Art Museum steps. This has been another episode of Sclero What, brought to you by Project Scleroderma. I'm Sunny Sidhu. We'll see you guys next time.